Hi folks, Puffin here with another spell to end fascism. It's July 25th, 2021, the light of truth, lighting the candle of magic. Looks like this will be the end of this candle of magic possibly for this spell, but that's okay because you know me, I'll get another candle of magic, of more magic for the next spell. We're using the Joe Biden bowl for this spell, a bowl that it's only been used since Joe Biden's been president, and focusing on things that relate to Joe Biden. So one of those is, well, just to say to remove the fascism from Joe Biden, any lingering fascism from Joe Biden. And I gotta say, still the most fascist thing Joe Biden is doing is allowing Trump to still be running around free. So, Trump did a rally yesterday. We need to get Trump into jail for his treason and genocide and terrorism. And dragging your feet on that is kind of fascist right now because he's still trying to stir up some type of Nazi revolution or something. And we need to stop that. So see some big chunks of resin coming out as I say that, because this is the most fascist thing Joe Biden's doing, just letting the fascist Trump continue to run around free when they have every right and really obligation to the American people to lock him up, and anybody who enables him. Now they did get Tom Barrack for lying to the FBI and being an agent of the UAE for Trump, one of Trump's campaign heads or something. Anyway, they got a Trumper recently into jail in addition to Weisselberg. It seems like one of these people is going to be the story of them flipping on Trump and providing the evidence they need to go ahead and arrest Trump. But for that matter, it seems like they had stuff on Trump that they were like, oh well, because he's president, they can't arrest him while he's president, but once he's not president, they can arrest him. Well, that's true. Like, as far as I can tell, they have plenty of stuff like that. They just haven't been pursuing it, or they've been trying to pursue a different angle or something. But, him not being arrested encourages these nut jobs to think that he's still president. And the fact that, if you have a real president who's not also a pawn of Putin in office, like if you had Bernie in office, I think he would be arresting Trump. Big job to remove fascism from Biden, to emphasize that point, I believe. That's how this magic works. So this is the thing. Trump made some type of speech yesterday about communism or something. He's trying to Nazify America as much as he can. It'd be better if commies did take over. Any commies, like domestic communists or China or anybody who still keeps that. Cuba. It'd be great if Venezuela. It'd be great if anybody else could take over America from Russia, from Putin, from Trump. You think, well, Joe Biden did that, right? Well, I don't know. Is he really? Is he really doing something? Is he really going the other direction from Trump, or is he doing like what most Democrats do, what Obama did even, which was just hold space for the next fascist to come along? So we don't need that. We don't need anybody holding space for fascism other than jail cells. That's the only space we need to hold for fascism is jail cells. Re-education camps, whatever it takes. I mean, seriously. And we need some help from China. Now, I saw a news story about the Sinovac, the Chinese vaccine. I saw a Chinese news story about it. And for one thing, it's not an mRNA vaccine like the Pfizer vaccine, as far as I can tell. But I didn't even know that. I would have preferred to get the Sinovac personally, if it's not an mRNA. Nothing against an mRNA vaccine. I assume they know what they're doing. But I would rather not be messing with DNA. I would rather just be taking a more traditional vaccine, even if I had to wait for it. And especially if it's from China. I trust China more in this situation because they're the ones being demonized for something that I can see. Obviously, Trump, Zuckerberg, Bolsonaro, Modi, everybody that Putin got elected using Facebook and Facebook itself are the most responsible. Now, props to Joe Biden. Again, I have to give some credit to Joe Biden for when he does do something good. He did mention how Facebook has been killing people by spreading false information about the virus and vaccine. And then Facebook responds, we do these things instead. They do their feel good, tag your post with the coronavirus button or something. When they are the ones making the accounts, the fake accounts that are trying to kill us. I mean, Zuckerberg is as guilty of genocide as Putin. They're like probably the two most guilty people I can think of. Trump virus is what I call it, because Trump is their pawn who's guilty, but they're the ones who are guilty of telling him what to do and making him do those things. So you got Putin, Zuckerberg. They're the ones who turned the coronavirus into a genocide by trying to lie about masks and vaccines and all this stuff. And Biden did do something by criticizing Zuckerberg, and then Zuckerberg responded and never let him say that he didn't know. He always knew. Zuckerberg responded saying, well, we did this. And then Biden said, well, some people have reached a large number of people using your platform to spread this information. Now, I feel like I can personally show Facebook covering for these people so much, and ultimately their patterns of behavior prove to me that Facebook is the one who's making these accounts. But the other thing I wanted to mention before my time runs out in this spell is simply a news story about the new head of the Capitol Police saying that the police officers should be allowed to testify, and the fact that it got 22,000 likes, 23,000 likes before it even had 1,000 dislikes on Twitter, the tweet about it, which makes me think that this whole Putin-sponsored Trump troll factory is being defunded. They're just not out there anymore. I mean, a month ago it seemed like their proudest accomplishment was downvoting videos and disliking things, but now it's getting more like what people actually feel, that there's most people, 20 times more people, are for democracy and against fascism. So exciting that the Capitol Police will testify, and that the one that they're using as an example is talking about CRT, like about being able to protest against racism, is not a protest against America, but they act like that because that's how racist they are in America. So we're going to end that. It looks like we're going to have some more Candle of Magic for later, but thanks for participating in this spell. Hopefully there'll be some improvement in Joe Biden. An arrest of Trump would be the biggest improvement you can do to end fascism in America. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.